that money you just got,
Yeah.
you're going to want to hand it right back to Walt. He's going to invest it for you.
Really? What?
I sent him an article about Beanie Babies. And
They're back?
Well, I was looking on Huffington Post, and I said this to Walt. Family spent $100,000 on Beanie Babies thinking investment would put the kids through college. Oh. Now, the key word in that...
are these people fat? Does this count as fat news?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not fat.
Oh, damn.
Q, do you remember the Beanie craze?
Oh, yeah.
You know, this would be about 1994,
95,
at the height of its popularity. Did you dabble in any beanies?
I didn't. I bought the Shamrock beanie.
You did. You actually are on record. You bought a beanie.
I did for my. Not for investment purposes.
Hello, retirement beanie.
Me and you were taking this to the end. No, she liked the bear, so I bought it.
Who? Who'd you buy
my
it for?
girlfriend at the time. That rode off in the distance on a scooter too.
Is that one?
Mm-hmm. You didn't get it back, huh?
No, I didn't get it back.
Hey, what was it? The Shamrock Bear?
Yeah, the Shamrock
Some good luck, huh?
These guys took it way,
$100,000
further.
But let's paint the picture for people, maybe in other countries.
Who weren't
Babies, became on my radar. I was going to the stash wasn't in existence. I was buying my comics at another store. And I noticed that they had set up a gigantic display of these glass boxes, like little acrylic boxes that you put your beanies in for display purposes and to keep them mint. And they were charging outrageous prices for it.
Don't you dare cut that tag off that says tie on it.
Yeah. And this country, this happens to every 15 years.
Yeah.
Something gets in the water. And
the reptilian elite.
And motherfuckers just go crazy and have no problems dropping thousands of dollars on something worthless that could never do what the claim can never live up to the claims of becoming a real investment.
But the craze is such that you could imagine people getting swept up in it. Because I remember at that time, my girlfriend at the time, she graduated from college, I guess it would have been, and she got it was called Liberty.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it in her bedroom, and I was like, "Ooh, you have that's worth money." But she'd cut the tag off.
Oh, that dumb fuck!
And she went to college.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, I didn't go to college. Even I know that. You fucking dumb bitch. But
where's your book learning now?
Yeah, I was like, I went to the school of fucking beanie, and look at me. I'm gonna be rich someday. She cut the tag off, and we still sold it though, because this is when the stash was down at
Broad Street. Monmouth
Street. Sold it for $100 with the tag. It could have gone for as much as $200. Now, Walt's right. This was a craze, even more so than the Pokemon cards, because these were average people getting into this. It wasn't kids. I remember being in the Poconos, going to a flea market, and there was some hyper obese lady carrying a fucking armload of beanies, and the guy saying I'm supposed to get fucking whatever in. Midway through the week, she's like, you better shave. They would buy 10 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? And this, I guess this guy did a short documentary, Chris Robinson, called Bankrupt by Beanies. It's only 7 minutes long. It's not super thorough. But I guess this family, his father maintained 5 separate collections, hoping the investment would put his kids through college. Unfortunately, that never happened, and the Beanie Babies bubble, like so many fads before it burst, leaving the family in financial ruins.
Could you imagine now?
You're the dad. You're like, I got it covered. Do not question my judgment.
Just put it in the bank, right? And you would have been, just earn interest on it.
What are Beanie Babies going for today?
Well, it's funny.
Can I go on eBay and check this out?
Well, here's there's this. It was the 1998 edition of Scholastic Beanie Baby Handbook. How much they sold for $98 and their estimated price in 2008. Now they were projecting 10 years into the future what these things would be worth, right? Stripes the Dark Tiger was estimated to be worth $1,000 in 2008. All right.
God.
Now they would much like the Cabbage Patch Kids, they would be like they were born. Its birthday was June 11th, 1995. a total number of 50,000 were born. And their estimated survival in 2008, like how many would be left?
Where were they going to go? Like
the garbage. I think the garbage. Or like, kids play with them. People don't keep them mint in plastic box or whatever the fuck.
I mean, they're going for $1.99.
Well, this one that they estimated would be worth $1,000. The 1998 value was $250. Now, today, you could get Dark Stripes for $9.95. So if you didn't sell it in 98, you were an asshole.
Oh, shit, look at this. The fucking Shamrock Bear.
What do you got? How
much is it going for?
$2.50. I should buy this back.
Seaweed the Otter. You could have gotten them for $5 or $7 at the time. 2008, $60. Today, you can get it for $2.99.
Wow.
I'm going to join you, Q. Hold on. I'm going to look for Liberty. Let me see if I steered my girl in the...
what's coming down the pike. It's going to happen again. It's probably right around the corner. Something is going to hit the market, and people are going to lose their minds over it, and they're going to start investing in it. And again, they're going to be taken, just like everybody else has been taken for a ride.
Why
by
couldn't
the manufactured rarity, manufactured value. It's crazy how often the public just grins and just eats shit. It's crazy, man.
Now you have here a buy it now Beanie Baby authenticated Liberty for $19.99. Now nobody's buying it. That's a buy it now.
Yeah.
It looks like people are arguing whether or not it's worth $6.49. But we remember that guy Todd. He would bring in the what were those cards? You're like, I have a Jar Jar card.
Oh, yeah,
what
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah. I remember he was so fucking excited, and we just laughed for fucking like an hour. He came in, and he's just like, you guys don't understand. I just got a Jar Jar card for $80. Like, and that was a sweet fucking deal at the time.
Yeah, Pokemon was probably the it was almost like Coke heads. People were so crazed for it. I've never seen anything like it before, and I've never seen anything like it since running this store. I literally could buy a box of these cards at a KB or a Toys R Us, bring them back to the stash, and sell them within a half hour for 4 times what I paid for it. And people were so willing to spend the money on this shit.
The number of calls you would get on a Saturday.
It was almost like a prank call.
Yeah, you would have to put a sign in the door like, no, we do not have Pokemon cards, because so many people would come in looking for them.
But at least Pokemon cards, I guess, were a game, right? You could play them.
But people were definitely not buying it to play the game. They were looking for that collectability factor. It was all about the rarity. It was all about the scarcity of it.
It's all about the Jar Jar.
That is when you know a society has gone off the rails.
Right.
Because that's what you give a shit about.
Right.
There are children starving to death.
2011 or 2001.
Pre-9/11.
Yeah. Pre-9/11 this was.
Right.
So, we were in a state of a haze. We were sitting there thinking that nobody was out to kill us. Nobody was out to hurt us.
Land of milk and honey, man.
Right. And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
We looked at Jar Jar for salvation.
Now, I can tell you, there's nothing.
Right.
There's no collectible that's being mass produced or coming out that is going to be a good investment. Except maybe Cryptozoic Man.
Oh, of course. You're an idiot if you don't get it on the ground floor.
You could probably send a kid to college if you buy enough copies.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but other than that, though, just don't fall for it, man. It's not true. It's not scarce.
But what I thought, what was funny about it is, you sit here and I know why you were doing it versus why they were doing it. Like, you had the masses that are like, I'll spend $15 on a pack of cards for my kids. But Walt's feverish need to go and get these cards to resell them would probably surpassed the need of the general public to get them for their kids. Because you would go out every weekend without fail and like hoodwink. Oh, yeah. I remember this. It was one of my favorite stories. Was when you went to, I think it was KB you went to, right? Was it KB?
Yeah, it was KB in the mall.
And this is when your oldest now was really young. She was like still in a stroller.
Yeah.
And Walt went in and he overheard somebody talking about like a worker and somebody else talking about a load of Pokemon cards coming in and what time they would be in. And the guy the KB worker saying like, all right, well, if I'm not here, just tell him like Todd said it's cool. And so they told him to come back at 2:30. So Walt gets there at 2:15.
Oh,
Todd says it's cool. Todd says it's cool. And how many boxes did you walk out with?
Oh man, probably like 16 boxes.
Oh my God.
The bill was outrageous too, but it felt like I'm like, okay, that'll be $485. But then that $485 turned
into $3,000.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, like I said, it really literally felt like you were selling drugs. And people wanted them and couldn't get enough of it. And then all of a sudden, just like that, just quickly, it's gone. For whatever reason, it stops. And the faucet is turned off and no one gives a fuck anymore.
Right.
I can't explain that.
Kevin Smith has gotta know what he has in you, right? Like that
was mine when I was younger, Q.
What's that?
I was in my younger days.
Oh, you don't have that.
Well, there's nothing out there for me to go out searching for now.
But you would.
Oh yeah, I would.
That's what I mean. Like every boss must wish they had a Walt Flanagan. They have to.
I don't mind hearing that.
I mean,
I'll take it
because like now, if I ever opened the business, you would be the bar to which I would set.
People like, get the fuck out of me. I'm not running around on my own free time buying fucking Jar Jar cards and fucking Shamrock beanies. Wow, fuck that shit. I remember we even went to me, you, and Kev went to the boardwalk, and some of the top prizes on the wheel was like a pack of Pokemon cards.
And like it's very hard to explain, right? When the bubble bursts, because you don't know when it's going to happen, but when it does happen, it's literally like the whole world knows it's over.
Right.
And you can't explain how they know, but they just know. They know. Stop calling, they stop coming in, and then all you hear about me about a year later is like, do you guys buy Pokemon cards?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the only time you hear about it again, when they're like, do you want these? You're like, I won't even give you a penny for that. Something you bought here a year ago for $70.
And I laugh, but I mean, I'm not laughing in a bad way, but I'm just like, it's just fact of life. I mean, you're going to get burned if you're buying stuff like that for investment. If you're that idiotic, that's a harsh word, but if you're that naive, I guess naive's a nicer word.
Right.
To believe that
idiotic's more to the point.
That you're going to amass some sort of fortune off of a Beanie Baby or a Pokemon card. Think about it. Think about how stupid that sounds.
Yeah.
Go invest in something that really has value.
But just put it in the bank and don't invest. Like, at the very least, just get your fucking 0.2%.
Or if you have the need, like, well, it's boring, I want to go invest in a collectible, then go for the proven, like, books like Amazing Fantasy 15.
Sure.
You could have got a copy for that back in 98, probably for $100,000.
Right.
Easy. And right now you'd be sitting, it's never going to go down in value, and it's not a manufactured hysteria. I don't know.
Wow.
Can you imagine that, Dad, too? They're like, so Dad, I got my beanie collection. Where am I going to school?
So what does the article say happened to the family today? Where are they at?
I mean, like it said, they're in financial ruin because they spent that much on
$100,000. Where do you get $100,000?
Well, I think it was over time, right?
Yeah.
Still, where do you get $100,000?
Maybe you're working a good job. And your wife's working.
But if you're smart enough to be working a good job, what do you do and spend the money?
You know what? That's the thing. That's a common misconception.
Okay.
That the people who are buying them weren't smart. They were. I don't want to say they were stupid, but they were just caught up in it. They got caught up in the excitement and the rarity, and like, well, they're nowhere. Oh my God, they're here. They're like, they're here. I got to buy them right now because they're super rare, and they just get caught up in it, and they don't really realize how foolish it is that it's really not rare.
And it's also like, I mean, especially if you have young kids, like you have a dad that's sort of like maybe a little off kilter, and he's like, come on, kids, we're going out. We're fucking pounding the paper
Not
for
off
beanies.
Kilter enough that he doesn't have $100,000 to spend though on it.
But off kilter enough that he is going to spend $100,000 on it. And like as a kid, you're like, oh my God, we're going to be rich. Like, I think Pam and Edgar definitely could have swept me up in it. Like,
in the Beanie Baby craze?
anything. 7 or, yeah, when I'm like fucking 30. I'm like, we're going to be rich, Dad? No, but like, I'm fucking 6, 7, 8 years old, and we're like, hey, we're going to go out and collect. We're going to go to fun places and collect stuff. And like, you probably won't get hit while we're doing
and you know
it.
what? And there's nothing wrong with collecting Beanie Babies if you collected them for that. Going out to a couple flea markets on the weekend, completing your collection. As long as you don't, it's just like alcohol, right, Q? You do a little bit here and there, but as long as you don't abuse it, as long as you don't become intoxicated by it and start changing, making decisions that are not the smart decisions.
Well, that's why you do alcohol.
But you know what I mean? It's like if you...
I mean... bang an ugly chick, bad decision. It's fine. drunk and driving, hit someone. That's not good, right?
Well, I mean, like it has to be done in a smart way, in a fun way, and as soon as you cross the line where you're like, well, maybe I'll be able to pay off my mortgage in a couple of years with these. That's when it's not a hobby anymore. And it's not fun anymore. It's just lunacy at that point.
Madness.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of America had it though.
Sure did. I myself was buying Shamrock.
I'm reading about the craze. It says when they first started in '93, there were just 9 characters. Over the next few years, hundreds of different types were introduced. The company made an empire worth more than $6 billion from the toys, boosted by the increase in people buying them as popular collectibles.
Where was that tipping point?
Right.
At the peak of the collecting craze, many believed the designs which had been retired would rise in value. They really did fucking lead people to believe. Like, probably knowing the entire time, like, these aren't going to be worth fucking fuck all.
Of course, it costs them 10 cents to make them.
Maybe there were some whistleblowers in the Thai enterprises that was like, Mr. Thai, a lot of people are buying these beanies based on the fact that, we're creating this illusion that they're going to be scarce and that they're going to be super rare. I think that's irresponsible.
What did you say, Mr. Unemployed? Who gets the Mr. Ty to say that? Nobody's saying that, right?
Nobody's saying
right? Well, if it's $6 billion company, where are they now, though? Are they still producing? I think they are.
They got to be, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Ty Incorporated, they're called. Let's see if we can bring them down. We'll do an expose.
Why? They're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything.
They're doing
wrong,
what they should be doing as a business.
They're marketing themselves and PR. And if America chooses to believe it, that it's the greatest thing that's ever been produced, I mean, what have they done wrong?
They manufacture other stuffed toys as well as Beanie Babies. To present, they're still making Beanie Babies. Oh, they make those Pillow Pals. That's one of those things that every single time Sage sees it on TV, she wants one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, why don't we buy 20, man? We'll be rich.
Wow.
She's turned into that kid that like every single thing she sees on TV, she's like, Dada, we buy. Or sometimes it's very general. She's like, we buy stuff. She'll say.
Ooh, how do you get that out of her?
True American.
I just give her whatever she wants.
I think that like people do buy artwork, right? And like it goes up in value and stuff like
original
that.
art.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about mass-produced pieces of crap.
Yeah.
Like 50,000 are born. It's like, and it's also the kind of thing when people are predicting, like, this is going to be worth money someday. That's the shit that's never worth money.
Right.
It's always the stuff that you're like, wow, I fucking wish I kept that because now it's worth money.
Yeah.
Although we see old stuff come in here and people, they're like, well, it's old, right? Yeah. Doesn't mean it's worth jack shit.